Salutations, everyone. I go by Faith is a Substance, and I'm back with another reaction video. And this is to a podcast called No Fugazi Podcast, or No Podcast Fugazi. No Fugazi Podcast. This particular podcast is centered around masculine and feminine roles when it comes to relationships. And so, of course, these are very highly opinionated, very how should I say, very headstrong, very kind of like underlining Hotep kind of foundation when it comes to how they debate their position. So this particular video is centered around the women's role in a relationship when it comes to their sense of value when it comes to finances. So I'm gonna just do my commentary in between, and I want to also reiterate the Fair Use Act of 1976. All of my commentary is based on my opinion and research and education and being informative, whatever that disclaimer is, you know what I mean. All right, anyway, let's get to the video.
It makes you a masculine woman. That being provided for is what keeps you soft, feminine, and desirable. But let's be real, what's more feminine than being completely at peace? A woman with money moves different. She's not stressed, desperate, or bending to survive. She's radiant because she's free. Free to rest, free to create, free to move at her own pace, in her own rhythm, without needing any permission. The truth is, lack makes a woman hard. Survival makes her masculine, and dependence, that's what makes her anxious. But wealth lets her exhale and let her be. So no, money doesn't take away from femininity. It amplifies it, because nothing is softer, more graceful, and more feminine than a woman who is fully in her power. A woman who
Alrighty, so let's start there. You know, that was a clip from an Instagram post that was the reference point to this video and to this dialogue, right? So I do agree and disagree with her sentiments in regards to how femininity plays a part in how a woman moves based on financial independence, based on financial security. Now, I do agree to some extent that when a woman is able to work hard and earn her keep and pull her weight and being able to have more financial security, I think that, you know, of course, I think most of us would feel more of a sense of fulfillment. They feel more of a sense of they'll be more at peace in the sense of being able to do more, be more flexible with their finances without having to worry about just living for paycheck to paycheck or just living barely within their means. So I think there is a sense of, I don't want to say peace, because I think peace should be maintained regardless of your financial status. I think peace should come to you regardless of that, but I think it's a level of confidence, it's a level of growth, it's a level of just kind of explore more of your inner self. But I just feel like also you have to understand that I think that when she mentions about a woman being more softer and feminine when they are able to earn more, I don't agree with that fully, because I know there are a lot of women who, especially when it comes to relationship or marriage, they make more money or they're more financially secure, and I think that makes them more emasculating. That makes them feel like they're more in control and they always have to compete, especially with other women. You know, they're even more cattier with other women. They're not as feminine. They have more masculine energy to me, based on their status. So that I don't agree with. But I think that it also, when you have financial security, I think it also gives you well, from the outside looking in, it gives you more of an intimidation factor because they feel like if they see you successful or you enjoy nice things and you carry yourself a certain way, for some men that could be intimidating to where they feel like you're not approachable based on your outer appearance or based on how you move or based on how confident you are in enjoying the fruits of your labor. It doesn't mean that you're being mean or you just stuck up or you have your nose up, but that's just the assumption that some men make just without even getting to know you, just based off your status or based on what they know of you or about you. They make their own assumptions without getting to know you. And so there can be so many layers to this when it comes to that. So I just wanted to give my take on that particular clip before they add their commentary. So let's go back.
Okay, great. That was a good one.
Okay, I like that clip. All right, well, let's get your perspective on that. Let's start on this. Yeah, let's start on this couch first with you. Actually, we're gonna save you for last for a reason. I see your face. Let's go to the people that said that they love it first. What did you love about that clip, and do you agree?
I agree with everything she's saying. Definitely about like women who are at peace. Peace is definitely a thing because we stress. We like mentally actually go through stuff. We go crazy just sitting in the crib by ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we just scream, and we get up, we take care of kids, we go to work, we come home, we take care of the house, we take care of a lot of things. And sometimes they get downplayed. So sometimes we do gotta argue with men and be a little bit more masculine than we want to be because we overwhelmed ourselves. So if we got somebody who actually take some of that off our belt, and if we making our own money where we don't gotta struggle, bills is paid, then that's when we at our most cool.
So here's what she's saying. Let me break it down to what maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there because I want to kind of rebut a little bit to what she said about how. Because to me, I think, and I could be wrong in my interpretation, but the implication is there about the more money a woman makes, the more financially secure you are, the more easier for a man to get along with her. Like if she's able to maintain financially, and yes, I do understand the part when she mentions about being overwhelmed with children, responsibilities within the home, and wanting that other person to be more understanding and compassionate of that. But it goes both ways because the way she puts it is that if I have more financial security, I won't be as mean to you. So so I think maybe, like I said, I could be wrong, but you kind of have to be mindful of that when you are kind of using each other as emotional punching bags because you're not where you want to be financially, and instead of helping to build each other up, y'all tearing each other down because you're both unhappy. So I just wanted to respond to that real quick.
You didn't interpret her message.
Yeah.
Right. So what the woman said was, women that are out there working in a workforce and get into the bag, those women are more feminine than the women that aren't doing that, that's actually relying on a man. Right?
She said they're more feminine. She said that doesn't stop them from being feminine. Making money doesn't stop them.
She said
doesn't make them
she said it amplifies, so it's more feminine. She said it amplifies their femininity. Right? Okay. So she said a woman that's out there working and getting her own money, it amplifies her femininity. Versus the woman that's has a man that's paying for the things, it doesn't amplify their femininity because the woman that has a man or whatever, then she's going to be more masculine. That's pretty much what she said. She said that working women are more feminine than stay-at-home women. Do you agree with
Maybe
that?
I heard that wrong. I heard everything she said wrong.
Play it back again so we can get it again.
All I heard was women are better at peace.
And please, ladies, listen.
Wealth is everything. So that's what I heard. I don't know. People earn.
I'm just gonna move it forward because I don't need to hear the clip again. So let me just forward it back to the actual commentary. But also, while I'm pausing here, I just want to also reiterate the fact that there are a lot of women who feel like the more money they make, the more likelihood they going to portray themselves as wearing the pants. So let's just be mindful of that, in which they shouldn't, but I'm just saying that's how they feel. Like most career women feel like they wear the pants in the family, and I feel like also whether it's the man or the woman that's making the most money, they feel like the more money you make, the more in control you are within that dynamic as well. So let me just go back to fast forward to the commentary itself.
And read us now.
Stressed, desperate, or bending to survive.
I did it myself. I don't need nothing behind me. I'm my own woman, and there I am.
Okay, your perspective on that?
I pretty much agree with mostly everything she said in the video. I honestly feel like as long as you're making money, it will bring you peace. As long as anything that you need is taken care of, all your finances, all your bills, as long as it's taken care of, it's going to bring you peace. It'll bring you reassurance, and it'll make you definitely...
Speaking of Mike?
I'm sorry, it definitely will just make you vibrant, glow. You will glow different. You will have skincare routines. Like, you'll be on top of yourself, your mental...
Side note, everyone should have a skin routine.
What's your thoughts on that?
No matter how much money you make. Please have a skin routine.
I feel like a woman who makes their own money moves different. I feel like they're confident. They're empowering. They can do what they want when they want. They don't have to ask questions. At peace. Just...
Let's get everybody answer. What about you?
So I'm gonna go ahead and disagree on what she said.
And why do you disagree?
Because I just feel like at the end of the day, almost every person in this room said that they wanted to be a housewife. And what comes with a housewife is a man to help bring you that peace.
I never once said I wanted to be a housewife.
I said almost. I ain't say everybody in this room. I said almost everybody in this room. Almost. That don't qualify to categorize everybody. Just
okay.
Almost everybody.
Alright, and you was about to ask some questions on this?
So do you agree that a woman making her own money makes her more feminine compared to a woman who is a stay-at-home wife/mom? Do y'all agree with that?
No.
I wouldn't say more feminine, but I would say more confident.
Because that's what she said. She said a woman that works...
I would say more confident.
Okay.
Well, that ain't the argument.
Right.
The argument is more feminine.
Do you
and
think
more at
a
peace.
woman who has her own job, her
More
own
at
money,
peace, yes. More feminine.
That's not the question.
If you're more feminine, you're more at peace.
Do you think a woman who makes her own money is more feminine than a woman who is a stay-at-home wife and mom? Yes.
You know, and please answer that, and please give me your opinions in the comments, whether here on YouTube or on Facebook or just social media. Please provide your opinion. I do want your perspective on this. Does it make you more feminine? I don't even think that it should be the whole masculine and feminine traits should not even be the end or the common denominator in this. To be honest, does it make you more? Does financial security make you more feminine? Because I don't think about it in that aspect when it comes to whether or not it makes me more feminine. Like, would it make me more secure? Would it make me more fulfilled? Absolutely. I'm going to be realistic about it. But also, my stance on this, financial security, to me, whatever it is that I want to be happy with what I'm doing first. Like, whatever I'm working hard towards, whatever it is that I'm doing, that I'm working towards that financial security, I have to enjoy doing it as well. So that also will kind of will make me more secure in my feminine space, right? All right, let's go back.
Yes or no?
No. Sometimes it can be dependent. A stay-at-home mom might have baby clothes, this dirt, like everything. Her attitude might be nasty because I had to deal with this all of the day. I don't have no help. It might not be the best. Whereas, yeah, I might have worked. I could have sat on a computer for 4 hours. I worked, but I got 50K. Right now I could go wherever I want in the world. I can maybe even bring some people with me. I can do this new skin regimen that came from Korea. Go buy me wherever the hell I want. Go meet a man on the beach and go drink that. And it's a time. It's at peace. I made my own money. Yes, I did. But what's wrong with that?
So the woman that makes her own money, is she more feminine? Yes?
It can be, but it can be the other way. But it can be. She could be more feminine in herself because she's confident and powerful in herself. So yeah, it doesn't mean that, like, yes, being submissive with a man is a part of femininity. Yes. But you could be feminine, being a hardworking, independent woman. Yes, you can. I believe so. Yes, you can.
Yes. I made peace, with making my own money and knowing that I can do what I want and take care of everything, knowing that I did my thing and worked for my shit. I'm cool. I made peace and I'm happy with that.
And it doesn't exempt men or saying like if I was at home or anything, but I do feel like, yeah, it's fine to be independent, make your own money, and still be at peace.
Charlie, what you say? So you do think women who make their own money are more feminine than women who are stay-at-home wife and mom?
I said no.
Because that's what she said. She was saying that
At first I'm thinking, yeah, but no.
Because the lady in the video said, because you changed the answer, because the lady in the video said a woman who makes her own money, it amplifies her femininity.
So, ladies.
So how is the man's money? How is his money?
So, real quick, because
I don't think femininity has anything to do with
ladies,
money.
real quick, and I'll just give you some game and some advice. What you witnessed here was manipulation. That woman used a tactic called doublespeak. Doublespeak is when you speak in a way that distorts the truth. And manipulation only happens when you focus on the effects instead of getting to the root of things. So she distorted the truth, right? Because I even see the angle that you ladies are speaking from is speaking from different angles from the angle that she spoke from. This is why he had to ask the question, do you think that a woman that works is more feminine than a stay-at-home wife? Because then it's like, then you maybe start to critically think like, that really doesn't make any sense. So let's get to the root of it. Everything that she said was untrue. So for a woman to be at peace and be in her most ultimate form of femininity, if you are working and competing with other people, because that's what working is, in order to work and to make money, right, to be self-sufficient, or to be more than self-sufficient, you are out there in the workforce competing with people. That brings on stress. That brings on anxiety and stuff. That brings on a lot of different things that women have to worry about, right? You ladies already know that being a stay-at-home wife or a woman that's staying at home, that's still things that you have to worry about. Some ladies even complain about that, like, oh, Dean, I got to take care of all these kids, I got to do this, I got to do that. Imagine being out there in the workforce and competing with people. All of you ladies are. You know how it is. And y'all got multiple jobs. So let's say you got all these multiple jobs, because all you ladies got multiple jobs. Are you more stressed now? Are you more in peace now? Or would you be more in peace if you had a masculine man that was protecting and providing for you?
Good question there. Would you be more at peace? Again, please, in the comments, please give your perspective, because I think it depends on the individual. Would you be more at peace if you were still, working, you're on your grind, without the man in the home or another woman, whatever you prefer, if that other person in a household? Or would you be at peace if you had someone there with you in the home that's able to provide for you, where you can ease that burden a little bit more? We don't have to work as much. I think that's what he's getting at. But that's a very good question. Now, would you be more at peace? Because it depends. To me personally, it depends on what your desire is. Because some people don't see themselves being married or in a relationship. Some people don't desire to have that nuclear family dynamic. So I think it also depends on what the ultimate goal is. Let's go back.
And all you have to do is be home and chill.
All you had to do was be at home, take care of the kids, clean, cook, and stuff like that. But working wouldn't be mandatory Right now, for all of you ladies, working is mandatory. You don't have a choice but to work. If you have a masculine man that's protecting and providing for you, working becomes not an obligation. You get what I'm saying? It becomes, well, yeah, you can do it if you want. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like that weight on your shoulders anymore. With the man that's protecting and providing, that weight gets lifted off of your shoulder. The weight lifted off of your shoulder, which would be more peace. If you're at peace, you're more likely to be more feminine, to be nice and kind and sweet, be nurturing, because you don't have to worry about all of this other stuff. You don't have to worry about paying your bills and all of that. So what you witness here of this woman,
does it have to do with anything about being feminine, or just be at ease, or be more feminine?
Trash.
Interesting,
yeah. I mean, does anyone disagree with that? Like, do you really think that you can be at peace and be more feminine?
Again, to me, I think is a different avenue when you say at peace and more feminine. I think that is a separate trait. Like, you could be more at ease. I mean, financially, like I was saying during his commentary, because he's kind of incorporating femininity with financial responsibility, and I don't know if it goes hand in hand or not. I don't see it like incorporating with each other or anything like that. But yes, I mean, I think that we let's talk about the masculine energy in the home. Would that be you be more at ease? Absolutely. Because I think most women who claim that they want independence, they are dependent, I don't need a man or whatever, that might be their mindset, but the underlining factor is that most of them desire that. They want someone that's able to provide, and so they could kind of take a step back. But at the same time, that can also have its hindrances as well. So I'm gonna get more into that in a moment.
If you're in a
okay, I'm gonna say you're a smart man, but I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that.
Mess you up, but like,
I do still feel like you're some type of peace.
I do get what you're saying, but me personally, I cannot.
So it's the after.
I still feel like independence is what really is going to give you.
She's not even speaking about that. She distorted the truth. What she did was combine two things. So what confused you is, well, I do need money. If I have money, I won't have to worry about all these things. But what does it take? What do you have to do and go through to get the money is the thing. You have to work and go out there and compete with people to earn the money, which the byproduct is the money. But post you actually getting the bread, you're stressing, you got to be up at this time, you're worried about, getting this in order, meeting this deadline, you're worried about all of these things. So she lied to you because the people that's out there working and getting the bag, they go through the most stress. You get what I'm saying? They're going through the most stress. And then if we're comparing the two versus men and women, well, men were built to handle stress. That's what we built for. We built to go out there and compete with the world. Women, are you built to the same degree to handle stress, the stresses of the world and the stresses of the workforce like the men? No, you're not built exactly like the man to handle those stresses. Now, some women can, for sure.
Right,
there's always exceptions to every rule, but even that exception to the rule, she's never going to be able to outcompete the best man that's doing it. It's just not going to be it. So, yeah. So the chick lied to y'all. Yeah. That's why the thing what I don't know if y'all caught it, when she was speaking and I had Dan press pause, because I wanted y'all to hear everything she was saying, but then y'all wasn't paying attention really. I was like, freak it, just play it again. Because it's like, if you would have heard everything she was saying, it was contradictions within her sentence. Yeah. But
I literally said what you just said.
Yeah, I know. You said that's why when I seen your face, I was like, I'm going to have you go lies.
So y'all really prefer to work than to be at home?
Yes, I do. I cannot be a stay-at-home mom. I have to.
Okay, let's just say this. Let's say this real quick.
Depend on the man.
Let's just say this.
Even if he was rich?
No, I cannot depend just solely on the man to just.
But no one said that you just have to be at home.
He asked the question. He just asked me, but I'm not okay with just sitting at home.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, you're not just
Once he decides he's done with you, then what? If you're solely dependent on him and his financial, once he's gone, then you're sitting there
well, what you're doing is currently you're catastrophizing. Catastrophizing is looking at the worst case scenario, saying
you have to.
You're saying, what if the man leaves me and this and this? Statistics show women initiate 70 to 80% of the divorces. So women are the one that's breaking up with the men. Men barely break up with women. Show of hands. Matter of fact, let's speak about you. Did a guy ever break up with you?
Okay. Understandable. Point taken. At the same time, if you want to compare who breaks up with whom, the fact of the matter is that there are men out there that do end relationships, and a lot of times they end relationships to go into other relationships that they've been in during the marriage or during the other relationship, during the time that they've been with you. So that can happen as well. But I do agree with the young lady who said that, you have to be cautious. It's not about you sabotaging or catastrophizing, hopefully I said that correctly. But I do understand where he's coming from as well. Like you're looking for something to happen before it does happen, but you do have to have some type of caution. You got to use a level of discernment, because I honestly do believe that you do need to have some level of self-sufficiency. I would encourage women to do that. There's nothing wrong with being submissive. There's nothing wrong with depending on a man to an extent, but be dependent on the man and allowing the man to lead. First of all, they got to earn that spot. First of all, they got to show themselves to being worthy of that role, because not all men are, but that's a whole nother conversation. But that you have to have the safe space in order to submit yourself enough to where you're able to know that man is going to provide for you, and they're going to do what they do, and then you're able to have the more flexibility to do whatever it is for yourself without having to have the burden of having to work or having to depend fully on a man, because anything can happen. God forbid, God could call him home before you, and then what? You, even if no matter how educated or whatever type of experience you had under your belt, if you put that aside and you decide to dedicate yourself to your family, which is nothing wrong with that at all. If you're able to have that your person and you're able to build that foundation and grow on that, wonderful. But I'm just saying that realistically speaking, there are times where you may unfortunately be a widow, or you may lose a spouse or a mate, or there may be circumstances to where he may have to go on disability, and then that income may not suffice to be able to live comfortably, especially we have a growing family, right? So you may end up having to go back into the workforce, and you know how hard it is to get back into the workforce. Yes, can you bounce back? Yes, because I've had that situation where I put myself in a position to depend on someone to be that provider, and I gave up, my new job. I gave up my livelihood. I gave up my apartment, and I moved across the country to be with someone that I, was, gave me the perception that he was willing and able to provide for me, because that's what he wanted. He wanted us to have the marriage, have that family set up, especially for my son as well. But he did not hold this end of the bargain, so I end up having to leave the situation. And when he mentioned about how women are more likely to break up with the man, you have to understand there's always there's certain reasons to that. You don't know, each circumstance is different, because I had to leave. I didn't want to, I had to. I had to leave that situation because I refused to allow myself or allow my son to witness being in an abusive relationship and being in a space where I didn't have the support that I needed to get through it, and I had to make other decisions that was best for me and my child. So you have to think about those things as well, that self-sufficiency, when you have to build your own nest egg, is not because you're taking away or undermining that man's role. It's because you're doing it for yourself, because it's your own self-fulfillment, but you're also doing it for your own financial security. You're doing it for yourself as in conjunction with building with your building with the spouse, or building with that man, building with that person. So it could go both ways, but they're going to discuss this further later on in the video. But I just wanted to give my take on it first. All right, so let's go back.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm speaking to her. Miss Light-skinned over here, 44 years old, with the booty skirt on and all that. Did a dude ever break up with you? You done locked down every dude. You be honest. They always, if you maybe you didn't want them, but they always came back for you. They never broke up with you. Be honest. Keep it no for
They always
easy.
come back. If I allow them, they try to come back.
So what I'm saying here is, so you broke up with, did any guy ever break up with you? Like he was like, I don't want you, and he stayed like that. I don't want you, I ain't going back, I don't want you, I don't need you. Did he break up with you?
No.
Exactly, you're proving my point. So, why catastrophize if you've never even got broken up with? So you're saying that, well, hey, these guys can break up with you. So, the logical conclusion, you're thinking, well, if a man can break up with me, which never happened to you, your logical conclusion is, well, I need to be independent, because if he breaks up with me, niggas never broke up with you. You kept all of them with your booty dancing. You kept them all. So with that being said, I'm just giving you some game.
I keep them with more than that.
I'm just giving you some game, and this is okay. And maybe you keep them. All I'm saying is this. Why even look at the worst case scenario, because you're shooting yourself in the foot? You can just actually go out there and live a reality and know that every guy that you had never broke up with you. So, and for you, that means that obviously you're doing something right if they're not getting rid of you, but also most men just don't break up with women. So with that being said, if you can get a guy that's going to protect and provide for you, and you don't actually have to be, it's not mandatory for you to work, well, why wouldn't you
not mandatory,
working could
not
be an option for
mandatory.
you,
I
not
would love
mandatory.
that, but I would still also like to have my own. I don't want to solely depend on somebody else.
Okay,
Solely.
okay, and my question for you is why not? If you've never had a man break up with you, why do you catastrophize and you think that someone is going to
It's not about catastrophe. It's not about a catastrophe.
And they never did it before, and you're 44 years old. Why do you think this way about men? What created this perception in your head?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I just want to kind of interject a little bit right here. It's not about catastrophizing. It's not about you, just totally just making, or, having all these doubts. I mean, of course, people might have self-doubt or doubts about the relationship with a man, because sometimes it's just, some people feel like it's too good to be true, because I've been in that situation. I've been in the low self-esteem phase where I felt like I didn't deserve any better than mediocre, or the bare minimum. So a lot of us women, we'll kind of like, we'll do some type of self-consciously sabotage or self-sabotage, because we're going to try to think ahead to just in case, because we just automatically going to think, okay, this ain't going to work out for me, this ain't going to last long, this is too good to be true, and sometimes we do need to allow ourselves the space to receive and appreciate what we have in a man or in a person. We do, and vice versa. So yes, it's not about, but also, like I said, it's not about catastrophizing. It's about building a nest egg. It's about wanting something for yourself in conjunction with allowing the man to lead and provide. In conjunction with, right? Key word, in conjunction with. All right.
About men, where you think that they just know for good niggas that's gonna hit them.
I have been left before. They try to come back, but I have been left.
But then you really haven't been left. Have you, meaning this, have you ever been left dry where it's like, man, like you've been entangled with the guy to a degree where y'all may be living together and stuff like that, and he left you hanging dry where you having to pay for the bills and do all of this?
Yes.
Okay. But you just said that they always come back.
They do. They try.
So therefore, you left them.
I mean, yeah, because I didn't let them come back.
But yeah, everybody maybe has an argument and takes a break. But these are guys that still wanted you. They still wanted you. They still wanted to make things right with you, you would say. But you didn't want them. So why catastrophize when that's not even a reality in your life? It's never been.
I don't know. It's not even really about catastrophizing. I just would feel better about myself if I wasn't solely dependent on somebody else for my needs. They're my needs. I should be able to take care of my own needs.
Understandable. You're fine to be self-sufficient. No one is saying you shouldn't be able to.
Would I love to be in my soft girl era and have a nigga treat me with princess treatment? Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't want that. You want your own.
No, you're not understanding.
No, she wants both.
Still have
remember the key phrase, people. In conjunction with, people. In conjunction with.
We know that, and no one's knocking that part of it. You said that you can still have your own.
I want to be able to do for you as well.
But the thing is this, most masculine men that's out there making bread, like, I have businesses and I'm making money. My chick doesn't work. She doesn't have to work. I'm not going to allow my woman to work. If my woman is going to do anything, she's going to work for me. That's how masculine men operate. They got things going for them in their life, right?
Business-wise, correct?
As far as business-wise, if I need something done, my woman is going to get it done for me, right? And I'm speaking to you in my own personal situation, right? My chick don't work. So the thing is, you can be self-sufficient, and my chick was self-sufficient before we met. You get what I'm saying? And that's great. But if I'm in a relationship with her, she can depend on me. And guess what? She's in her most ultimate form of femininity, where she's not out there competing in the marketplace of business and jobs and all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. You said you got 3 businesses? You got 3 jobs? What do you do exactly?
No, I have 1 paying job.
Okay, you got
like an actual 9 to 5.
Okay, you got 1 out of 5. Okay, cool. Now, you're not
I'm an author, so I do make money.
Okay, you said you got your books. Cool, you're doing some things. So, would you say that you being an author and you acting is more of a passion? Yeah. That's something that... Now, this 9 to 5, is that really a passion?
No.
It's a means to an end. It's a means to an end.
That 9 to 5, but you can still keep those passions. Would you want that?
Well, I'm making money off of my passion as well.
That's totally fine. No one's saying that.
Of course.
But you do rely on that 9 to 5.
Yes.
Okay. So wouldn't you say if you got rid of that 9 to 5, it'd take away a lot of stress from your life?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't agree. I can relate. My 9 to 5.
Okay, it's a hypothetical world. Let's say your passions right now.
Easy, I'm gonna do shit.
I know. Let's say your passions right now. You were making so much money when you didn't have to work the 9 to 5. Would you stop working your 9 to 5, or would you continue to work your 9 to 5? So you're making so much money off your books, you're making so much money off acting, where it's like, 9 to 5, I don't even need to work this job anymore. Would you stop or continue?
I would stop.
That's the man.
Okay. Noted. So so basically the conversation was, and his point, his driven point was, would you consider stopping? Would you stop your 9 to 5 job if you're able to focus on your passion or whatever it is that you want to pursue outside the regular 9 to 5? And you have a man that is able to have the means to provide enough to where you don't have to worry about that 9 to 5 job, would you quit that job? She said yes. I say again, I won't flat out say no, but it will take me some time to do so. Here's why. Because again, remember I said about, God forbid, God calls that person home too soon, or you might have a situation where they're no longer able to do whatever it is they're able to do based on, you may have some, things happen, like freak accidents happen, health issues happen, and you have to be the one to go back into that 9 to 5 space, right? And also, you have to understand that when you spend so much of most of your adult life working a regular job, it's not that easy to just just going up and just leave that job, even if that person has shown themselves to be able to provide. You still leaving your pension behind. There's health benefits behind this. So it's not just the regular salary. It's those things as well that are attached to that regular job as well that you have to rely on also. And then that person has to be able to have not only the substantial income to provide for us. He has to be able to have the right type of benefits package that suits the whole family as well, that we're able to benefit from. So, and those factors also, because or God forbid whether you break up with that person or they decide to break up with you, their finances become their finances. Once again, it's not it's theirs. Because they were the ones that were the prominent figure in providing, financially, right? So there's other factors. You can't just expect for a woman to up and just detach themselves from the 9 to 5, or detach themselves from what they're used to doing, because that's what all they know. That's all a woman was able to maintain, in order to maintain their financial security, in order to maintain the well-being of themselves and their children, if they have any. So yes, would I want to have that? Absolutely. But it's not going to just happen right away. It's not going to just happen within the next few months. It's going to it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for me to even resign from my regular job in order to really be certain that I can depend on this person to provide for me full time, and I can focus on whether I decide I want to go to school, back to school, or whether you want to do like a train in a certain field, whether you want to do like a pet project or hobby or whatever it is that you decide to do, want to travel more, and that'd be all well and good. If you're able to sustain that, wonderful. But it has to be a transitional process. Right? Alrighty?
So, like I said, if you met the man where he's financially stable enough, where you're not obligated, and it's not mandatory for you to work that 9 to 5, but you can only do the things that you kind of want to do, you can go into your passions, you're going to take that, right?
So that's where I was trying to.
I don't know. I can't really agree with that, because
if you don't,
the man can leave.
So listen, what I'm saying is,
but your passion's gonna always be there.
Yeah, why would you take?
That's my passions, not the man.
Making money,
the man might not
so
always be there.
regardless, you still got an income.
What I'm saying is this: it don't correlate. So why would you?
But that income's not going to pay my bills. That income not going to pay my rent.
Your passion. You selling books now, but a year from now you will not be selling books. That can stop, right? Mm-hmm. But guess what? You never even had a man that truly left you. They always wanted you. That never even stopped for you. So it's not even a reality of a man leaving you and leaving you out to dry. But no, they could be some stuff, but then he right there knocking that door like, baby, take me back, I want you. Yes. Yeah, I'm right. So all I'm just saying is, obviously you're catastrophizing where you're looking at the worst case scenario because you have this view of a man that you think that these guys are no good and they're going to leave me out to dry.
It can happen. Right. Not saying it. It's not saying that it will happen in every scenario, but it does happen.
Where do you think this mindset came from? Is it your true thoughts, or were you influenced via culture, society, feminism?
All those things.
Experience. I want to say my own traumas, but
you ain't even.
You keep telling me you haven't been left.
Yeah, you haven't.
But I have.
People have treated you wrong.
Just because they came back doesn't mean I wasn't left or tried to come back. I've been left, I've been abused.
Okay, so you're mixing things in there. No one is saying that people didn't treat you bad. I know they probably did. I'm sorry for that, right? No one is saying that. We know that they treated you bad. But that's so.
In other words, he's saying, yes, it does happen, that you have those scenarios, but just have more faith in your partner, in your relationship. That's why it's very important that when you, as you get older and you have these teachable moments, because this is great. This is great conversation, right? But, we just always have to understand that there are things that are going to happen in your life. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get, you're going to be in situations where it may lead one way or another, but just make sure you stay prayed up about it and making sure that it's ordained by God, that is anointed by God before you commit yourself into this situation. And make sure you have, make sure you have some guidance through therapy as well. Couples counseling. There's so many different resources you can use to kind of try to figure out what direction you need to take on whatever relationship that you get into, and make sure that it's something that's that is right for both parties. But I do think that it should be an option, to be, what to depend on that person versus you putting that woman in a position where they are obligated to remain in a certain space. But I get the point. But again, it's not about catastrophizing fully. It's not fully about that.
Support system, like meaning that if you were in a situation and you relied on him for paying XYZ, you just chose that because it was toxic, meaning that it wasn't a good relationship, so you chose to choose, your own self and what you have going on than to choose that man because it was a bad relationship. But those men, what I'm saying is, they actually didn't leave you. They still wanted you, meaning that they were still willing to come back in and provide resources to you again.
But what about the time when they're gone? Then, I don't know. I can't get with that.
How long has a man actually left you for?
Look, I was dealing with somebody, I'm not even going to say dealing with, kind of like talking to somebody.
Was it serious though?
It wasn't serious, but
that don't really count. Then I'm talking about some serious. I'm talking about where y'all locked in.
He was providing. We was locked in, and he was providing. Like, he was doing everything.
Okay.
So say I stopped getting to my bag because he doing everything for me. We don't want to talk anymore. So then what? I'd be in a fucked up position because he got all these bitches.
Oh, well, that's what comes with a guy. That's a big baller. He's
a liar. He wasn't consistent.
It's a give and a take sometimes. Listen, do you want your bills paid for? But he may have Becky on the side? Well, he can't have it all is what I'm saying. God dang.
Lies.
I want it all or nothing.
You want it all or nothing. Fair enough.
Amen.
That is a reality. But okay. So if you like that clip and you want to watch.
Alrighty. So that was that. So very good dialogue, respectful debating, and I'm glad that they both stood 10 toes down in what they felt in their position. No, I mean, you can't have it all. Yeah, okay. I don't agree with that fully, in the sense of you should be able to not sacrifice certain things for the other. Like, I shouldn't sacrifice fidelity for financial security from a man. No, that's not the type of that's not what I'm on. That's not the time. That's not the type of time I'm out. I'm sorry. That is not the type of time that I'm on when it comes to that. When it comes to relationship. When it comes to me and being with someone, right? So, but this was some good dialogue. I thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to continue to do more of these type of reaction videos. I'm still working through the editing process and getting these out there. I'm going to continue to make improvements as I go along. But yes, so just let me know what you think about this. I mean, I just feel like there needs to be God has to be the foundational piece when it comes to kind of building this type of relationship or this type of marriage with someone. And you're going to have those conditions and those foundations set. That has to be discussed before you take that commitment plunge. Not after or during. It has to be discussed beforehand. I think, like I said before, those resources that are needed in order to come to an understanding. But I think that if you have someone that you are in sync with, and you'll have a mutual respect for one another and what you're able to bring to the table, then I think everything will work out accordingly. So again, thank you so much for joining me on this. And so I'm going to be doing a couple of more videos today, because remember I mentioned to you guys about the singles event that I'm going to be going to later on tonight. So I'm going to be coming on. I'm going to do a brief short video on, before I leave for the event, so you can see how I got, how I look and all that good stuff. See what you think about that, and then once I get to the venue, then I'll do some video work there. So thank you again for joining me, and